Thanks to the City of BRIMBANK across our neighbourhood and the world, Soul Dive with AD, Roshani and Lydia on BRIMBANK Live on Live FM.
Welcome back to Soul Dive on BRIMBANK Live's Live FM. We're your girls, AD, Roshani and Lydia. And we are joined by our last but definitely not least guest, Nyandeng. Mayen.
Hello.
Hey, thank you for joining us.
It's okay.
Welcome.
Hello. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. I know it's so hard asking people to be here so early, but people have been showing up. Amazing. So to get right into it, we don't have that much time. As part of our sense and spirituality, I wanted to get different aspects from people believing different things. So Nyandeng believes or doesn't believe. I'm not 100% sure. You can clarify that up for us. And I thought it was really interesting to have you here on here because I know you personally, and I know that your family believes in Christian values. They're very. I mean, I've been praying with them every day. It's been kind of really beautiful.
Yeah.
But you are not all the way there with them. So in a couple of minutes, tell us about your background and what you believe in.
So I'm Nyandeng. I'm a Sustenance Grave Director. What do I believe in? I think that's something that I'm still trying to figure out, or like something that I've been learning as like I go each day. I kind of believe in just like, for me, I think what gives me just like release and just like helps me process or like navigating my way through life is literally just being outside or just like being around nature. But I think it's always sort of like just like understanding that I'm still kind of growing. So that for me is kind of just like, I'm like, it's something that I'm still trying to find out. So like, I'm at a place where like, I don't know like where I'm at, like with just like religion and all that, or just like spirituality, but like, I'm okay with that. And it's exciting for me because like, it's just about letting go for me and just like figuring that out every single day, like as I'm outside.
And I think that's the mature part, is saying, I haven't got it figured out, because a lot of us try and force our identity, even if it's not our truth, just for the sake of it. So just saying, hey, I'm not 100% sure yet. I identify with a whole bunch of things. I'm still trying to figure it out. That's the best way to go about it. You know what I mean? And I think we'll respect you more for saying that than for trying to align with whoever's there at the time, you know? And how did you come to that conclusion? When did you start saying, hey, you know what? I don't believe in what I'm being told. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to follow whatever's being thrown at me. I actually want to find out some different things for myself. How did that happen?
I think it's just like from kind of like going to church and also like just listening and sometimes like having questions that like I knew sometimes couldn't be answered, but also just like for me, like I'm just always thinking and my head's just always like everywhere. But it's also like a thing where like I'm always okay with like the questions and all the thoughts that I do have. And I'm always like noting these things down and being like, you know, if this is coming to me like consistently, this means something. And like just like that for me is always exciting. So like just always thinking and just like my head's doing a lot, but it's also like that for me is going to take me somewhere with just like figuring what that means, if that makes sense. But also I think like I don't know, I think I just would like, I really don't know how I kind of just like really left church, but I don't think I really left church, or like I still like, I wouldn't say, I'm not like Christian or anything, but like
grew up.
I just like went
I guess it's Roshani here. I wanted to ask in terms of I guess when you speak about kind of leaving the church or maybe having all of those questions, what was it like, I guess, from going, you know, maybe to church all the time and having your family really religion oriented to then kind of having those questions? How was that received by, I guess, the people around you?
I think it was intense. I know it was definitely intense for my mother. Like, but I think I also understood, like, you know, that like I have my own experience and I'm gonna have to experience that regardless. And like, you know, as much as I do love my mother, like, you know, I don't think I could like fully like follow that religion as she does. And like I understand that, like, you know, her faith is different and it's her own experience and it comes with a lot of more things for that. And I also know, you know, there's some things that like, you know, that she just understands that I might never understand. So that for me was like, okay, like this is how I'm gonna kind of look at it. But it's also like I'm gonna keep navigating the way I do.
Yeah. And I think that that's really important because sometimes faith is determined by experience. And so sometimes you have certain experiences to have a particular faith or stronger belief in things. Yeah, absolutely. I hear you when you say that.
And we can ultimately only really stick to or really believe something if we're convicted. So if you don't have the same conviction that your mom does, then it is important to just kind of go on your own path and question your own things. I think that's ultimately what leads to more confidence in what you believe in, is allowing yourself to, question what you were told initially, because I think we were all kind of raised with something, being kids and having parents. So yeah, I think that being on a journey, and you've basically said you're on a journey, and that's what it is.
And I honestly feel like I'm sorry. Now I was gonna say I honestly feel like I'm learning something every single day that just like amazes my mind. Like for me, like I like everything that I see just really inspires me. But like every day is just like my head is at a place. I'm like, whoa, there's something I didn't know. Whoa, it's so exciting. And like, how do I kind of process that?
I'm really the same. Like,
I know.
I'm really the same. Trying to find God and spirituality and rocking with the moon and doing all this. People are like, what's going on? But as a South Sudanese person, I know there's a lot of stigma on kind of being an alternative person, which I know you definitely are. And Lady can give us the plugs to your Instagram.
I've actually seen you before. Like when I'm like, that's your cousin.
Can you tell us how some people have reacted to you just wanting to do your own thing and be your own person?
I like a lot of stares and a lot of things, but I feel like for me, I've always been in my own world, like just growing up and just like having that experience. I've always like protected myself from other people's opinions and stuff. And I've always understood like, that people have their own like things to say, but also like, I don't want that to affect the way that I do. So I've always like, I have like ways of processing the way that I deal with things. Sometimes that might mean me just like spending a day, like being in my room, writing things down, crying and whatever, and dealing with that. But like, that's the way I kind of go about it. And it's okay. But I also like, I feel like I'm at a place where I really don't care. Or I don't have the time to really be explaining myself to other people. Because like I'm existing for myself, not for others. And for me, that's just exciting. And like, I don't have time.
Yeah, I was going to say there's so much strength in that, in just being able to be with yourself and not kind of worry about what other people are saying and doing and reacting to how you kind of want to lead your life. I love that.
It can be stressful, but it can also be like isolating at times, like it can be lonely where you're like, I just want to cry. Why are people doing that? But it's also like, why am I doing that?
Just so in awe because honestly, a lot of people your age and I don't know if you want to say your age. You're pretty young.
Me? Oh, wait, I'm 23.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So still being young, a lot of people I think that age have like an identity crisis at this time.
Which is understandable. Yo, there's so much going on.
There's so much happening.
If you spoke to me like, I swear to God, 2 days ago, I would have been like, I don't know what to do where I'm at right now. But I feel like that's a process that you literally got to go through and just like feel it out. You can fight it back, keep going, but like you'll get through it,
It's a volatile stage of like.
Sorry, Lydia.
No, I was just saying we're going because I'm 24. I just turned 24, so it's like it's kind of we're stepping into ourselves, really coming out of teenagehood and just
literally.
It's a volatile stage of our lives. A lot changes. This is where we really form those things, and of course they'll change. They'll always change, but. So understandable that we're having I think they talked about the midlife crisis, but they never told us about,
quarter life.
Like,
it's quarter life. It is.
It's honestly like, what do you think?
I think the reoccurring theme that I've been hearing is just mindfulness. Being mindful of where you're at, whether you're somewhere or not anywhere. Just being mindful of where you're at that very moment in time.
And like being okay with not being okay at times, I feel like that definitely is a thing for me that I fight. But I'm like, it's actually okay not to be okay at times and just to feel that through and also to seek help. Because I hate asking for help. Like my pride just like, I'd rather like just be on the streets crying than asking for help. But like, I mean like that. I got a therapist and it's been so nice to do that, to be like, there's actually people that want to help me. And that it's so scary to do it. But like, once you get that out, it's just like, oh, whoa. It's still like it gets scary as you go, but like seeking help is like probably one of the best things that I've done. And knowing that like, that I need that help. And like, that there's nothing also to be ashamed of it. And like being at a place where like, I'm just like, yeah, I need help.
And as a South Sudanese person, once again, I can only talk about my experience. I don't want to talk on every ethnics. That's also a stigma, to see someone means you're outright crazy.
Yeah.
You're supposed to keep things bottled in.
Destigmatizing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to see someone. It's actually probably for the best. I'm trying to go and see someone right now because I've been trying to deal with things by myself. And as Tigis, the colored therapist, said, stop it.
Yeah.
She's like, mental health is like the gym, you go work
literally
just to make sure you're good.
Yeah.
And like I started therapy like 6-7-ish weeks ago, and I'm like, I rep this. I fully rep.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Probably have to have a whole show on.
I think so. Yeah, I was literally
that's awesome. If you're you are tuning in to BRIMBANK Live FM, where your soul divers, AD, Roshani, and Lydia, and we're talking to Nyandeng, Mayen, creative, trying to figure it out, walking her own path. It's amazing.
Minding my business. Good. Yeah.
And just to wrap up, Nyandeng, we're all trying to make sense of ourselves in the world, as you've just told us. What are some words of encouragement that you might have for the next person who's going through the same thing?
Jump into your mind and literally like, there's nothing wild in there. Like, as weird as things are in your head, or like as weird as things can feel, just literally allow it and feel it through, and write what you need to write, say what you need to say. That's literally what I've been like going through as well, like being okay with like expressing my feelings, if that means love, anger, hate, whatever shit, like really just like being okay with that. Like I sometimes wake up and I'm like, I literally hate everything. Like I hate everything, and that's okay. Because it's just like a feeling within that moment. And just like, I think just really allowing yourself to feel, and just like,
that's powerful. Yeah. That's powerful. Yeah, just saying, and that's something that I've been getting into, which is removing yourself from your ego.
Yeah.
Because it's the ego that rules us.
Hey, that ego.
That ego is what makes us upset. It's what makes us self-sabotage. It's what makes us hold on to our love instead of give it out because you're afraid or you expect something back. You shouldn't be expecting anything back. Just give to yourself and to others, and the world will give you back. So I definitely believe
really like that no expectation thing that you really just said. I think that's something I've been kind of like going through, where it's like I come to places with no expectations, but for myself, like I kind of do come with like my expectations for myself to just enjoy myself, but I'm also like coming for myself if I'm meeting up with people. But it's also like that being okay with that, like if it's gonna be, I'm gonna take what I take out of that, but also coming with no expectations sometimes. To just like enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man, sad to see you go.
I'll see you in the other room.
We're gonna have more after the break, guys. You're listening to Soul Dive on BRIMBANK Live's Live FM. Your girls AD, Roshani, and Lydia, and we were just chatting to Nyandeng, Mayen.
With thanks to the city of BRIMBANK across our neighbourhood and the world, Soul Dive with AD, Roshani, and Lydia on BRIMBANK Live on Live FM.